What's up, wrestling fans, and welcome back to the second episode of Ringside Recap. I am your host, Ninja the Ninja, and let's get started with the show that The Rock built, Friday Night SmackDown. So, the show opens up in Fort Lauderdale with Cody Rhodes coming out to the ring. But before Cody Rhodes can even get a word out, the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu comes out and basically told Cody to keep it 100. So Jacob Fatu tries to call out Drew McIntyre, but instead of getting Drew McIntyre, he ended up getting SmackDown's general manager, Nick Aldis. And Nick Aldis basically told Jacob that, hey, you have Elimination Chamber around the corner and WrestleMania. So right now, he basically can't put Drew any harm's way because Drew is the champion. So I will figure out a way for you to get your hands on Drew. But then we hear Drew up there in the suite saying that giving thanks to Nick Aldis for giving him the night off. But he goes on to say that the men in the ring can't keep his name out their mouths. He basically told Jacob, saying that you think you're all bite and no bark, but you're really all bark and no bite. So then Jacob Fatu tried to run up to Drew McIntyre, but then is stopped by security. After Jacob got stopped by security, Drew continues to pop his lips, saying that everybody in the world wants to beat him because he is the champion. Then Cody tells Drew, he says, nobody wants you because you're the champion. Everybody wants you because you're nothing but an a-hole. Now, I'm not gonna lie. They could have did without this part. I feel like it really didn't matter. It really didn't do nothing. This part really didn't really hype nothing. I feel like they could have kept this little segment really a waste of people's time. They should at least had Jacob at least run up the stairs to at least try to get to Drew, or play it off, or then get stopped by security. But who knows? The next segment, you see United States champion Carmella and Dragunov. Now, I can't pronounce Dragunov's first name, so I just call him Dragunov. But you see them in the back. Dragunov is hyping up Carmelo, saying that he don't miss and he's the one. But when it comes to the United States Championship, he's not going to have it to WrestleMania. Y'all, he grabs the mess out of Carmelo's neck. Like, you heard his hand slap the mess out of his neck. I don't know why he grabbed that man so hard like that. But anyway, he just kept hyping Carmelo up and basically told Carmelo that you're not going to be a champion at WrestleMania. So I'm pretty sure that him and Dragunov must gonna have a match. So then we have a little segment with GM Nick Aldis and Jacob Fatu. Basically, Nick Aldis told Jacob Fatu to be patient with him and he will eventually have a shot at Drew McIntyre. But Jacob Fatu told Nick that I'm not gonna wait. So I'm pretty sure Jacob probably gonna jump Drew tonight. He probably gonna jump Drew. I'll jump Drew too. But he's definitely gonna jump Drew. And next there's a match between Dragunov and Tama Tonga. The match between Dragunov and Tama Tonga was a pretty good match. I'll rate the match a good 6 out of 10. Tama Tonga picked up the win with his finisher Cutthroat. And then Solo Sikoa had a promo saying him and the group are the best and they got the tag champions. Just for Dragunov to try to jump him but ended up Dragunov failed miserably. And then Matt Cardona came out and also Apollo Cruz, but to no prevail, all of them got beaten by Solo's group. And then we get a little snippet of Uncle Howie and them basically saying to Solo, you need your family. But next time I come in the ring, I'm going to be alone. So, guess we're going to see Solo Sikoa group and Uncle Howie's group probably in a match, probably Elimination Chamber. So, yeah. Then y'all be seeing Drew McIntyre in the back on the phone. Then you see GM Nick Aldis come out and just choose out Drew McIntyre for causing all this trouble. And basically, I don't know. Nick Aldis said, hey, you keep on testing me, you gonna see what I really do. Now, when he said that, he looked down at Drew's championship. And then he backed off. It's like, oh, give it a rest, man. I'm just playing with a little. But if y'all watch TNA, you know that Nick Aldis is actually a really good wrestler. So, can we potentially see him coming back to wrestle in WWE? I don't know. I hope so. I really do. So then it cuts to Byron Saxton trying to cut a promo with Randy Orton about his match next Saturday in the Chamber. And Byron was asking him about him going against Cody Rhodes. But then as Randy was talking, Zelina and Aleister Black comes in. And basically, Aleister Black is like, where's that old version of Randy? The Randy that basically used to do the punt kick. Aleister was asking him, where's that version of Randy at? And Randy was like, well, the version that you want to see is right here. So, meet me in the ring tonight. So, basically, tonight we're going to have a match between Randy and Aleister. Which, that's going to be a pretty good match. So then, y'all, we see Byron again trying to cut a promo once again with Lash Legend and Nia Jax. Basically, them two saying that they're coming for the women's tag team champions, Io and Rhea. And then Nia saying that, she's going to try to win the Chamber and go to WrestleMania. And tell people to stop doubting them as a tag team. This promo really wasn't nothing special. Another one that they could have done without. They didn't really need to bring these two out here. But I want to say, I think Lash is gonna be a future champion. I love Lash. I don't like the fact that they got her with Nia. I mean, maybe this is doing it to help her progress as a superstar. But I think they need to break up. I think Lash will be better as a singles competitor than a tag team competitor. So next, we have Jade cutting a promo in the ring, basically saying that everyone had doubts about her, and she defends her championship for her time. She beat Jordan Grace last week for her belt last week. And, and she's the one, and no matter who comes out of the Chamber, the winner, or if Liv makes her decision on who she wants to go for, she's still going to win and she's still going to be on top. Now, I'm not going to lie. Jay looks good on paper, but she honestly is not an interesting champion to me. And I hate that I'm saying that because I feel like I'm putting her down as a black woman, and there's not a lot of black women championships or champions. Her reign to me is boring. I just feel like she's just a paperweight, like she's just holding it for somebody else. So after she gets done just talking about herself, she marches up to the ring, and then I think the funniest part is Charlotte Flair just interrupts her walking and like literally just sidestep her like she's under her. compared to Jay's one-time championship holder compared to Charlotte's 14. It's almost laughable. Like, why would you even try to get in the face of Charlotte? Now, I'm not going to say I'm a big Charlotte fan because I'm not, because I also believe that she was handed most of the championship that she has gotten. But I honestly, not gonna lie, I'd rather see Charlotte the champion than see Jade. At least Charlotte puts on decent championship like runs and she defends it more often. Like, Jade only defended her championship like 1 or 2 times in the past more than 100 days. So, I don't know. Guess we'll see. I hope she drops that belt at WrestleMania. I'm not gonna lie. I really hope she do. Now we have a women's triple threat qualifier match between Charlotte Flair, Kiana James, and Nia Jax. So the winner of the women's triple threat ended up being Kiana James. Now I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the best match of the night so far. So I'm definitely gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, they had the whole crowd even chanting. It was an awesome match. So, I'm really shocked of Kiana winning. I was definitely not seeing Kiana. I was definitely seeing Charlotte winning this match. But Kiana did the smartest thing I think I ever seen someone do under Charlotte. Charlotte had Nia in a figure eight lock, and Kiana got under Charlotte, like under Charlotte's arms for a pin and won the match. I thought that was so creative. I don't think I ever seen anyone do that to Charlotte. But now for the women's elimination chamber match, we have Kiana, Rhea, Alexa, Asuka, and Tiffany Stratton. So, guess we're gonna see who's gonna get it next week. Who's gonna be the last woman that's gonna claim that spot at the chamber. So after the match, Byron gets up with Io and Rhea, basically asking them about their opinions about the match they just saw with the women in the triple threat, and basically making fun of Nia. Saying they're going to defend their tag team champions next week, and Byron asks if it's going to affect them in any way. They said no, and hopefully they said that Io wins her match next week for the last spot of the chamber. That was it. Another one that they could do without. They didn't really need to do this promo neither. So the next match of the night was Kit Wilson versus Oba Femi. Now the match starts off as Kit Wilson reads a poem that he wrote for Oba Femi. The first poem he wrote was basically gloating Oba Femi and praising him. So then Oba Femi told Kit to read another one. But Kit didn't have another one, so he just basically said like 9 things I don't like about you. But he said 9 things he didn't like about Oba Femi. So then Oba Femi ended up pulling him into the ring and beat Kit senseless. And Oba won the match with his finisher, the Fall from Grace. And that was it. Short match. I'm not even going to rate it because it wasn't even really a true match to begin with. But it was just a squash match that they normally give people like Femi when they first come in on main roster. But that makes me very excited. I think Femi gonna be another future big champion, I hope. If WWE does him right, I hope he do become a big time champion. I believe he has it to be one. So, what is up next? So now it cuts back to Nick Aldis, and I don't know if y'all listened to the show I had done Monday, and they had shown that wooden crate box. So now Nick has the box, and R-Truth, God bless his heart, R-Truth, talking about something that's an award for Elimination Chamber. R-Truth is nothing but doing God's work. I swear, he's carrying he's carrying everything that he does. He makes everyone laugh. But at the end, True cracks jokes, and Nick Aldis sends back the crate to Raw, as I called it. They're gonna just keep sending this thing back and forth until next Saturday, and I don't know why they even did this. This is a waste of time. But I still think that box has something to do with Chris Jericho. I am calling it. I think it's gonna be something to do with Chris Jericho. Some type of memento or something. He's gonna be in that box. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. He's gonna be in that box. So Damian Priest walks up to Nick Aldis just to say, "Hey, R-Truth is still there." He basically tells Damian Priest, like, "I'm sorry, like, you didn't make it to the chamber." And Nick Aldis is like, "Truth, he's the only one in the chamber." Well, he is in the chamber. And then Truth is like, "Oh, Nick, you got our balls mixed up again." He's, "I like you when you're a ball." Like, who was he talking about? Who was he talking about? He like you when you're bald. And when he said that, he almost cracks Damian. Damian is like fighting for his life not to laugh so hard. But Truth literally is a national treasure. So Damian says this a bunch of nothing. He basically just says that he has a upcoming match for a shot at the chamber. This segment they can keep. This was funny. This was a funny segment. I'll let this one slide. So now we have a quick little pickup match with Tiffany Stratton and Alba Fire from Chelsea Green's group. So Tiffany ended up picking up the win on this match, which was already predictable. So I gave the match probably a 5 out of 10. Wasn't really too excited for it. Didn't really care for it. So y'all, we have a quick little promo session between Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. Basically, Sami Zayn saying that Cody Rhodes cost him the opportunity to go to the Elimination Chamber, and they started arguing back and forth about how Cody has been handed everything because he's the golden boy, and Sami Zayn hasn't really been irrelevant. And Cody Rhodes basically said, "You blame this on me, but it's a you problem why you have never been a champion or haven't been relevant." So that was a little spicy little promo session they had. I ain't gonna lie, this was a good one. I think this little segment was a really good segment of the night. At the end of that little segment promo, Trick Williams came out and made fun of Sami. Basically said, "I'm gonna do something that you couldn't do, and that's finish the job." And I was like, "Oh my god, Trick." Do y'all think Trick is becoming like another version of Booker T, or just me? He reminds me so much of Booker T, what he's doing now. So now we are in the men's triple threat qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. It is U.S. champion Carmelo Hayes, Damian Priest, and Trick Williams. Now the match was solid. I would say 8 out of 10. I feel like it wasn't as good as the women's, but it was still a good one. And Trick Williams ended up picking up the win with his high knee, the trick shot. And it was pretty good. So the men that are now in the Elimination Chamber is Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, and now Trick Williams. So next week gets to be the last week to see who gets the last spot for the men's chamber as well. So then after the match, we see Nick again in the back with other superstars surrounding the crate. And the person that's on top of the crate is Johnny Gargano. Basically, this segment was pointless. It doesn't even matter. This was really pointless. They talked about nothing. So I'm just not gonna even. I'm not gonna get into it. So now we have another little segment of Jade, BFAB, and Michin. This segment was a bunch of nothing neither, just telling us that they're back from injury. Nothing special. Another segment they can throw in the trash. So now we have another pickup match again with U.S. champion Julia and women's tag team champion Rhea Ripley. So the match between Julia and Rhea Ripley ended up getting disqualified because Lash Legend and Nia Jax ended up getting involved with Rhea. But the match before all that happened was like a solid 5. Another match that didn't really matter, or it was just nothing really. At the end of the day, Rhea would definitely win the match if it was something fair. And Io also saved Rhea at the end of all that. So we have another little segment between The Miz and Oba Femi. The Miz is trying to so-called prepare Oba Femi for the new generation that he is in since John Cena had left, and Miz had made it upon himself to be the new locker room leader. And Oba was like, absolutely, you can show me the ropes next week. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cliche. And Miz is like, no, not for a match. But it's gonna be too late because it's more definitely gonna be in a match for them next week. And there was another little segment between Alexa, Charlotte, Kiana James, and Julia. Basically, Charlotte is kind of upset that she didn't get a spot in the chamber, and Alexa did. And Kiana James came in trying to make fun, and then also Julia. But another pointless segment they get done without. So it was another segment. They're having back-to-back segments trying to waste this hour. It's ridiculous. So this segment was Solo Sikoa and the rest of the group packing up, getting ready to leave for the night. And Solo pulls Tama aside and say, "You're my best man. You always been my soldier. You my guy." So it was like, let's make sure the Wyatts don't get back that lamp. People who do not know, the iconic signature Wyatt lamp had been around since Bray was around. Rest in peace for Bray. But now they're trying to make this a storyline when they're not getting that lamp back, which I think they should have left that alone, but that's me. But then as Tama was getting ready to leave, Shinsuke Nakamura came out, basically was saying, when are you going to break out from this family? I thought you said you're your own man. Leave your family tree behind the forest. And I was like, ooh. So Shinsuke over here putting a bug in Tama's ear to lead the group. Hey, I'm all for it. Okay, y'all, we're in the final match of the night. Aleister Black versus the Viper, Randy Orton. And the match was solid. It was another good solid match. This match probably is number 3 of the night. You have the women's qualifier, the men's qualifier, and then probably this match was probably best match of the night. So I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna give this a good 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 because at the end of the match, Drew McIntyre came in, hit Randy in the head with the belt, and then Cody ran out, tried to get Drew, but of course that never works. Drew got away, and basically Cody I guess he didn't really sell him, but I'm pretty sure next Friday Randy's gonna tell Cody, you sold me from winning this win against Aleister Black. And that was it. That was the show. I want to say thank y'all for listening and tuning into the show for this week. I will see y'all Monday on Ringside Recap. And once again, I am your host, Naja the Ninja. And make sure y'all follow me. Make sure And make sure y'all like, subscribe, share if you want to. Try to follow me on my socials. Also follow my anime account, Ninja the Ninja Anime Podcast. Follow me on there. I also do some reviews on anime. Check me out on there. And after that, thank you for listening. Love one another. Be blessed. And your mental health matters. If anyone hasn't told you, you matter. You belong here. And someone does love you. You matter here. You belong here. Once again, thank you for listening. Bye.